Joining our conversation, Dr. Celine Gounder. She's a member of the Biden-Harris Transition COVID Advisory Board, an infectious disease specialist and epidemiologist at NYU School of Medicine and Bellevue Hospital. She taught me the elbow greeting before we were all at home. I want to ask you, Dr. Gounder, about whether this emergency use authorization means that there will be more vaccines available, or is the supply different from the authorizations?
So this means we're going to have a second supply of vaccine, the vaccine coming out of Pfizer and the vaccine coming out of Moderna. And so Pfizer has promised the U.S. government 100 million doses, and then you have another 200 million that will eventually be coming from Moderna. So this is all very good news. It doesn't mean we have all of those doses on hand at the same time. And I do think it's also important to note that both vaccines are based on a similar technology. And so some of the same ingredients are used in both. And that could potentially stress the supply chain, the manufacturing of both vaccines when you have both companies trying to scale up production of each of their vaccines at the same time.
Dr. Gounder, how far are we from seeing those signs in our CVS or our Walgreens that we see about flu shot? You know, have you had your coronavirus vaccine yet?
Well, I think it's going to be a little while yet, Nicole. First, you're going to see the healthcare workers and staff and residents of long-term care facilities getting vaccinated. I am one of those frontline healthcare workers as an infectious disease doctor. I still haven't gotten my shot, and it's going to be a little while longer that I have to wait. And that's just that phase 1A. Then after that, we're looking at critical infrastructure workers, then people over 65 with chronic medical conditions. That'll probably be around April or May. And I think for the general population beyond that, we're really looking at later in the summer and possibly even into the early fall.
And that was the warning, I guess, or the alert that the Biden team signaled today. And obviously you're part of that mass vaccinations for the entire general public is not likely until late summer or fall. How do we make sure that 3,611 people aren't dying every day until then?
Well, it means we're going to have to double down on the things that we have at our disposal now, the things that do work. So that means we need to keep masking. And by the way, even if you've been vaccinated, you still do need to wear a mask because we don't yet have proof that the vaccines prevent transmission. We only know that they prevent disease for the person who's received it. We don't yet know that that person can't still be infected and can't transmit the disease onto others. And then, of course, it's all the other things, the 6 feet apart, spending time outdoors if you're going to be around other people who are not in your household bubble, and getting tested.
Dr. Gounder, what is the sort of theory of the case on why more people can't be persuaded to do the right thing? Chris Christie, a Trump ally and advisor, put out an ad advocating mask compliance. And the first line is, this isn't for everyone. An obvious nod to the fact that everyone isn't skeptical about what you just described, that masks protect us and the people in our homes and in our communities or in the grocery store or at the Walmart that we see from COVID. Why are we at this place where people are still so distrustful or defiant of the few things we can do to protect ourselves?
Well, I think, unfortunately, the entire pandemic has been politicized. Masks have been politicized. As I've said many times, including on air here, it's like politicizing toilet paper. Masks are a basic hygienic measure that should never have been politicized. And now we find ourselves in a difficult position. But I do think that Americans are doing a better and better job increasingly over the last several months of wearing masks. They're not wearing them all the time. They're not wearing them perfectly. But over 90% of Americans now report that they're wearing masks at least some of the time.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.